Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Betsy Gay's life was a beautiful portrait of talent, resilience, and reinvention. A story that first captured hearts under the bright lights of Hollywood and later echoed through the rustic charm of country music and yodeling. Born Elizabeth Ann Gunst on February 2, 1929 in Connecticut, her family's move to Hollywood in 1935 set the stage for a childhood filled with performance. From the age of 3, she absorbed melodies and instruments thanks to her parents, who ran a music school teaching piano, banjo, violin, and accordion. By age 6, she appeared in the beloved Our Gang comedies, later known as the Little Rascals, buying her place in history through gentle charm and natural presence. Her role as Effie, the sweet young girlfriend of Alfalfa, resonated with audiences, and over the next few years, her image became woven into more than 40 films, including notable titles like Tom Sawyer, Mystery Plane, and Came the Brawn. The end of her Hollywood chapter did not dim her star. Instead, it sparked a new flame. In 1941, Betsy learned to yodel for a Columbia Pictures short, a turning point that would reinvent her career. She embraced yodeling with passion, and in 1945 and 1946, she claimed the California State Yodeling Championship 2 years in a row. Her voice found new audiences on radio programs, The Jimmy Wakely Show, Hank Penny, Don Amiche, and she toured the East Coast in 1946 with country music icons, performing beloved songs like Belle of the Old Barn Dance. Her artistry expanded further on television troupes like Country Store and Country America through the 1950s. Betsy's journey from child actress to celebrated yodeler reflects not just talent but grit, a spirit that courageously transformed early fame into a lifelong musical legacy. She balanced life as a performer with gentle devotion as a wife and mother. In 1954, she married Thomas Cashin, and together they raised twins Mimi and Gigi, and 3 more children, Tommy, Susie, and Kathy. On June 13, 2025, surrounded by love, Betsy passed away peacefully at 96 from natural causes. Her passing marked the close of a generous life lived with curiosity, humility, and melody. She leaves behind a legacy brimming with remembrance, not only as the cheerful little girl in the Little Rascals, but as the voice that carried yodeling across the country, and a beloved mother whose warmth touched many souls. Her story reminds us that true artistry shines best when paired with a heart open to change and a spirit ready to sing. Leonard Lauder's story begins like a classic American tale, around a family kitchen table stirring pots of homemade facial creams. Born in New York City in 1933, the same year his mother Estée was laying the first brick of her beauty empire, Leonard learned early what true care and dedication meant: genuine connection, personal touch, and unwavering belief in quality. From those humble afternoons to the helm of a global cosmetics powerhouse, Leonard's journey was defined by bold decisions and heartfelt leadership. After graduating from Wharton and serving his country as a Navy lieutenant, he joined the family business in 1958. Working side by side with his mother, he absorbed the lessons that shaped an empire built on relationships and authenticity. Under Leonard's visionary guidance, as president, CEO from 1982 to 1999, and then chairman, the Estée Lauder companies expanded beyond imagination. He pioneered the company's first research and development lab, orchestrated the strategic acquisitions of Clinique, MAC, Bobbi Brown, and Aveda, and extended the company's reach into Europe and Asia. From annual sales under $1 million to more than $15 billion, Leonard transformed a modest family brand into one of the world's most influential beauty empires. Yet his legacy transcends business. Leonard was a passionate collector who found joy as a child in postcards and later amassed a premier collection of Cubist art. In 2013, he gifted his collection, valued at over $1 billion, to New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art, creating the largest single art donation in its history. His belief that art should be shared transformed public access and appreciation. Equally committed to compassion, Leonard co-founded the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation with his brother Ronald and, alongside his late wife Evelyn, pioneered breast cancer awareness efforts, including a generous gift to Memorial Sloan Kettering's Evelyn H. Lauder Breast Center. He practiced kindness as naturally as he did business. On June 14, 2025, surrounded by loved ones, Leonard passed at age 92. He is survived by his wife Judy, sons William and Gary, and countless admirers around the world. His life reminds us that true greatness lies not only in ambition, but in the impact we leave, through generosity, culture, and a vision that nurtures not only enterprise but humanity itself. Breaking news. Marie Osmond is not just a performer. She is a phenomenon of resilience, a beacon of hope, and a voice that continues to echo through generations. Her journey, lined with glitz, heartbreak, reinvention, and compassion, is one that defies the typical arc of celebrity life. What keeps her going, even after decades under the spotlight? What strength lies beneath the polished smile and vibrant gowns? The answers lie in a life devoted to more than entertainment, a life shaped by faith, family, and an unwavering mission to lift others. Born Olive Marie Osmond on October 13, 1959, into the famous Osmond family of Utah, Marie was the only daughter in a household of 9 children. Her brothers were already household names, dominating the charts as the Osmonds. But from the very beginning, Marie charted her own path. At just 13 years old, she released Paper Roses, a country pop ballad that soared to #1 and marked the beginning of her own stardom. She was not simply the little sister of a famous group, she was a force in her own right. Her breakthrough led to the beloved variety show Donnie and Marie, where she co-starred with her brother, Donnie Osmond. Together, they captured the hearts of America, becoming cultural icons in the 1970s. With radiant smiles, musical duets, and comedic charm, the pair built a legacy of family-friendly entertainment that still resonates today. But behind the stage lights and choreographed perfection, Marie faced a very different set of challenges. Marie Osmond's life has never been free from adversity. Despite her sunny image, she has spoken openly about profound personal struggles. Among them were postpartum depression, professional insecurities, and profound family heartbreak. One of the most difficult seasons came in 2010 with the loss of her son Michael, a moment that left her reeling. She took time away from the spotlight to grieve and later returned with grace, speaking publicly about mental health and the importance of emotional well-being. She has also been open about the unique pressures placed on her as a woman in the entertainment industry. From a young age, Marie faced scrutiny about her appearance and body image. She has spoken candidly about the intense public and private pressure to remain thin and perfect, a burden that became unsustainable. Rather than retreat, she became an advocate for health and wellness. In later years, she became a spokesperson for weight management programs, using her own experiences to inspire others to pursue health with kindness, not shame. In recent years, Marie has faced renewed health challenges. In 2024, she shared that she had been hospitalized following serious complications, though she did not disclose details. Despite the setback, she returned to the public eye with characteristic optimism, thanking fans for their support and sharing messages of hope. Marie has always been a believer in using pain as fuel for purpose, and her health journey is no different. Her resilience is not only physical, but also emotional. Through 2 divorces and remarriage to her first husband, raising 8 children, and navigating a long career filled with reinventions, Marie has remained centered by her faith. A devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, she credits her spirituality with helping her weather the storms of life. Professionally, Marie Osmond has worn many hats: singer, actress, talk show host, Broadway performer, author, and philanthropist. From starring in The King and I on stage to co-hosting The Talk on CBS, she has proven herself versatile, curious, and ever-evolving. Her best-selling books, including Behind the Smile, have invited readers into her private world with candor and courage. In 2019, Marie and Donnie concluded their 11-year residency at the Flamingo Las Vegas, an immensely successful run that drew thousands and reaffirmed their enduring appeal. Even after that chapter closed, Marie did not slow down. She embarked on solo performances, recorded new music, and became even more active in charity work. Her philanthropic spirit is a cornerstone of her identity. In 1983, she co-founded the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, a nonprofit that has raised billions of dollars for children's health care across North America. Her commitment to children's well-being has not wavered in over 4 decades, and she continues to serve as a powerful advocate for those without a voice. Marie Osmond's journey is one of continual rebirth. She has endured personal tragedy, public criticism, and evolving health, yet each time she has chosen to rise, to reinvent, and to return stronger. Her story is not only one of success, but of survival, of finding meaning not in applause, but in impact. In 2025, Marie publicly mourned the loss of her brother Wayne Osmond, who passed following a major stroke. Her heartfelt tribute reflected not just grief, but also a profound appreciation for the family bond that defined her early years. Even as her loved ones face fragility, Marie continues to project strength, often saying that love is her greatest legacy. Today, Marie Osmond stands as a symbol of enduring artistry and inner grace. She is a performer who never stopped performing, not just on stage, but in life. Her voice may have started with Paper Roses, but it has carried her through decades of transformation, reminding audiences that the sweetest songs often come from the deepest places. If Marie Osmond's journey has ever touched your heart, we invite you to share your memories in the comments below. Which of her performances do you remember most? And if her story inspires you, please like and subscribe. These are the stories that remind us all of the quiet strength behind the spotlight and the beauty of a life lived with grace, grit, and purpose. Thank you for celebrating Marie Osmond with us. George Wendt, the beloved actor best known for his role as Norm Peterson on the long-running sitcom Cheers, left behind a legacy that continues to warm hearts across generations. Born in 1948 in Chicago, Illinois, George's Midwestern charm and genuine spirit would later shine through one of television's most iconic characters. For over a decade, Norm's familiar entrance to the bar, greeted by a joyful chorus of "Norm," became a treasured moment in American households. Wendt's journey in the entertainment industry was one of perseverance and heart. After years of studying acting and performing in theater, he found his breakthrough on Cheers, where his down-to-earth portrayal of the bar's most loyal patron earned him 6 consecutive Emmy nominations. His comedic timing, coupled with a deep understanding of character, made Norm not just a figure of humor, but of warmth and humanity. Beyond Cheers, George brought his talents to a variety of television shows, films, and stage productions. Yet, his greatest impact might have been the kindness he showed off-screen. Known for his generosity and sincerity, he became a mentor and friend to many in the industry, including his nephew, actor Jason Sudeikis, who has often spoken of the inspiration George provided both professionally and personally. In recent years, George faced several health challenges with quiet strength. On May 20th, 2025, he experienced cardiac arrest at his home, a result of multiple ongoing health conditions. His passing came on the 32nd anniversary of the Cheers finale, a poetic closing chapter to a life that brought so much joy to television. George Wendt's legacy lives not only in reruns of Cheers, but in the hearts of those who knew him and the millions who felt like they did. He will always be remembered for his humor, his heart, and the sense of belonging he gave to anyone who heard the words, Norm. Angie Stone, a pioneering voice in American music, left behind a legacy that resonates deeply with lovers of soul, R&B, and hip-hop. Born Angela Laverne Brown in Columbia, South Carolina in 1961, Angie's musical journey began in the pews of her church, where her soulful voice first took flight. Over 5 decades, she transformed from a groundbreaking rapper in the sequence to a celebrated solo artist whose music touched hearts around the world. In the late 1970s, Angie blazed trails as part of the sequence, one of the first all-female rap groups signed to Sugar Hill Records, helping pave the way for future generations of women in hip-hop. But it was her reinvention in the 1990s as a neo-soul powerhouse that brought her widespread acclaim. Her debut solo album, Black Diamond 1999, introduced listeners to her smooth, resonant voice and deeply personal songwriting. Follow-ups like Mahogany Soul 2001 and Stone Love 2004 solidified her place among the greats, with hits like Wish I Didn't Miss You becoming timeless anthems. Angie faced her share of challenges, both personally and professionally. She openly discussed navigating a male-dominated industry, health concerns, and moments of feeling overlooked despite her immense talent. Yet through it all, she remained grounded, generous, and resilient. Her voice, rich with emotion and truth, never wavered. On March 1, 2025, following a performance in Alabama, Angie was involved in a vehicle collision while traveling to Atlanta. Her publicist confirmed the news with heartfelt words, reflecting the love and admiration she inspired in countless fans and peers. Beyond her music, Angie was a loving mother and grandmother, an actress and a mentor. Her influence can be heard in the voices of today's soul and R&B artists. Angie Stone's gift was not just her voice, but her ability to make listeners feel seen, understood, and uplifted. Her legacy is one of passion, perseverance, and profound impact, etched forever in the soul of music. Jill Sobule, a singer-songwriter with a fearless heart and a storyteller's soul, brought a unique voice to American music. Born in Denver in 1959, Jill wove humor, honesty, and activism into songs that touched lives across generations. Her 3-decade career broke ground with 1995's I Kissed a Girl, a song that gently challenged cultural norms and opened doors for greater inclusivity in pop music. With her signature wit and warmth, Jill never shied away from telling stories others left untold. She found early success with her self-titled Atlantic Records album, which also featured Supermodel, famously included in the film Clueless. While mainstream pop welcomed her briefly, Jill's creative spirit could not be contained by formulas. She embraced independence, using crowdfunding long before it was common, and released projects that reflected her wide artistic range, from humorous commentaries on social issues to deeply personal ballads. Throughout her life, Jill faced both creative and personal challenges with unwavering resilience. She was a trailblazer in a male-dominated industry, a pioneering voice for LGBTQ+ visibility, and a tireless advocate for human rights. Offstage, she was a devoted friend, often performing at loved ones' weddings or supporting them during times of need. On May 1, 2025, Jill was visiting friends in Woodbury, Minnesota, when a house fire unexpectedly took her life. Fire crews responded swiftly, but the blaze had already caused devastating damage. Her friends, who believed she had safely exited, were heartbroken to learn otherwise. The exact cause of the fire remains under investigation, but it is believed to have begun near the home's porch and deck area. Jill's passing leaves behind a community of fans, collaborators, and loved ones. She is survived by her brother James, sister-in-law Mary, and 2 nephews. Her music, humor, and fierce compassion will continue to echo through the lives she touched and the songs she leaves behind, each one a testament to her courage, creativity, and heart. Pamela Bach Hasselhoff, an actress best known for her roles in beloved television shows and for her presence beside David Hasselhoff during some of Hollywood's brightest years, left a quiet yet lasting impact on the entertainment world and her family. Born with a vibrant spirit and an artistic heart, Pamela was more than a public figure. She was a devoted mother, a cherished friend, and a woman who sought grace even amid life's most challenging chapters. Pamela's acting career included appearances in Baywatch and Sirens, among others, and she graced red carpets with elegance, often seen supporting charitable causes close to her heart. But behind the glamour, Pamela experienced struggles that many often face in silence. In recent years, she had openly faced personal battles, including periods of emotional difficulty. According to a medical examiner's report, Pamela had expressed feelings of sadness in the past, and on March 5, 2025, she passed away at the age of 62. The report revealed the presence of prescription medications such as benzodiazepines and clonazepam in her system at the time. Her passing was later confirmed as a result of self-inflicted harm. That morning, she spoke tenderly to her daughter Taylor, telling her she loved her very much, a final expression of enduring love that will echo in her family's hearts forever. Found unresponsive later that day, Pamela's departure came as a profound shock to those who loved her most. Her daughters, Taylor and Haley, have since honored their mother with heartfelt tributes, remembering her as their best friend, their light, and their guiding strength. Pamela's legacy lives on in them. Through the compassion she nurtured, the strength she inspired, and the love she gave so completely. She may no longer walk among us, but Pamela's warmth and spirit remain, cherished by those she touched, remembered in every smile she once inspired. Edmund White, a trailblazing voice in American literature, passed peacefully at the age of 85, leaving behind a monumental legacy of courage, beauty, and honesty. Over the course of 5 decades, White illuminated the human experience through more than 30 works of fiction, memoir, and biography, each filled with a rare blend of tenderness and unflinching truth. Born in Ohio and raised in Illinois, White's life was shaped by complexity and contradiction. He studied at the University of Michigan and eventually moved to New York City, where he would witness and help shape pivotal moments in LGBTQ history. He was present at the Stonewall riots, a founding member of the gay men's health crisis, and an enduring voice throughout the AIDS crisis. His novels, most notably A Boy's Own Story and The Beautiful Room is Empty, were among the first to center openly gay protagonists with nuance and depth. At a time when such stories were seldom told, White wrote boldly and compassionately, making space for truth in a world that often demanded silence. Beyond his fiction, White penned acclaimed biographies of Jean Genet, Marcel Proust, and Arthur Rimbaud. His memoirs, including My Lives and City Boy, offered an intimate, often humorous glimpse into a life lived with intensity and reflection. Diagnosed with HIV in 1984, White defied expectations, living for decades longer than he feared, using the gift of time to write, teach, and mentor. Throughout his life, White remained a generous spirit. His influence can be seen in the work of today's most celebrated authors, and his legacy endures in every page that bears his name. He taught us that honesty is an art, and that literature can be a home for those who feel they have none. Edmund White's voice may now rest, but his words will continue to resonate, soft but unyielding, in the hearts of readers for generations to come. George Lowe, the unforgettable voice behind Space Ghost on Space Ghost Coast to Coast, brought laughter, absurdity, and brilliance to late-night television, redefining what animation could be for a new generation. He passed away at the age of 67, following months of recovery from heart surgery. Though he is no longer with us, the echo of his voice and the joy he gave to millions still resound. Born in Dunedin, Florida, George began his career as a radio DJ and TV personality, quickly earning recognition for his magnetic voice and sharp wit. But it was in 1994 that he found his most iconic role, not behind a camera, but behind a microphone. As Space Ghost, a satirical talk show host interviewing real-world celebrities, George turned offbeat humor into high art. His timing was masterful, his improvisation unforgettable, and his voice unmistakable. The show helped launch Cartoon Network's Adult Swim block and inspired a wave of experimental animated comedies that followed. George also lent his voice to fan-favorite shows like Robot Chicken, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and The Brak Show, proving his range and appeal. Yet even off-screen, he remained a fixture in the fan community, making regular appearances at conventions until recently. Beyond animation, George was a man of many passions. He was a self-taught artist whose intricate pen and ink drawings found homes in museums like the High Museum of Art in Atlanta. His love for folk and pop art reflected a boundless curiosity and a joy for the eccentric, traits that made his performances so unforgettable. Those who knew him remember not just the performer, but the person, generous, witty, and full of life. George Lowe leaves behind a legacy not only of laughter, but of innovation and heart. He reminded us that silliness could be smart, and that comedy, at its best, could also be art. Charles Chambers, known to the world as DJ Funk, was more than a producer. He was a revolutionary force who shaped the sound of Chicago and beyond. He passed away at 54 after a courageous battle with cancer, leaving behind a legacy of innovation, grit, and rhythm that changed dance music forever. Emerging from the Midwest's underground rave scene in the early 1990s, DJ Funk dared to forge a path of his own. He fused house with hip-hop's raw edge, creating the high-energy, unapologetically bold sound we now know as ghetto house, or, as he proudly called it, booty house. Tracks like Pump It, Work It, and Run became anthems not just in clubs, but in the lives of those seeking freedom, joy, and release on the dance floor. His 1999 album Booty House Anthems sold over 1 million copies in the U.S., a rare feat for an underground artist. Yet Charles never chased trends. He built his sound and his audience from scratch, remixing for global acts like Justice while staying true to his Chicago roots. His name was etched into electronic music history when Daft Punk shouted him out on their seminal track, Teachers, a nod to those who inspired them. Even as his health declined, his music never wavered. DJ Funk continued to perform, record, and uplift those around him. His beats fueled movement, and his courage in the face of illness was no less powerful than the tracks he spun. He was more than a DJ. He was a pioneer, a risk-taker, and a voice for a scene that demanded to be heard. He gave the world a sound that pulsed with life, and in doing so, he became a heartbeat of house music history. DJ Funk's rhythm lives on, in the dance, the bass lines, and the joy of those who will keep moving to his beat. Paul D'Amato, remembered most vividly as the unforgettable Tim Dr. Hook McCracken in the cult classic Slapshot, has passed away at the age of 76. He died peacefully at his home in East Brookfield, Massachusetts, after a courageous 4-year battle with progressive supranuclear palsy, a rare and debilitating brain disorder. A Massachusetts native, Paul brought a rare combination of athleticism and theatrical talent to his roles. A college hockey player at Emerson and a trained stage actor, he was one of the few cast members in Slapshot with real-life experience on the ice, a fact that added grit and authenticity to his infamous portrayal of McCracken, the menacing enforcer of the Syracuse Bulldogs. That performance became a defining image of hockey villainy, so much so that Marvel artist John Byrne cited McCracken as an inspiration for the visual design of Wolverine. Beyond the rink, D'Amato had a strong presence on screen. He shared scenes with Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken in The Deer Hunter, appeared alongside Cher and Dennis Quaid in Suspect, and brought depth to roles in Heaven Can Wait, FX, and 6 Ways to Sunday. On television, he guest-starred on The $6 Million Man and Law & Order, and helped form several theater companies in New York. Off-screen, Paul was generous with his time and talents. He frequently participated in charity hockey and golf events, often auctioning off his signed McCracken jersey to support scholarships and health organizations. His contributions extended to causes like Cure PSP, raising awareness for the very disease he would ultimately face. To fans, he was a scene stealer. To fellow actors, he was a consummate professional. And to his loved ones, including his fiancée Marina Ray and sister Andrea, he was a kind soul with a fighter's spirit. Paul D'Amato may have played a villain on screen, but in life, he was a beloved figure whose legacy will live on, both in his unforgettable roles and in the hearts of those he inspired. Biff Wiff, the beloved character actor whose gentle charm and comedic brilliance lit up screens for decades, passed away after a lengthy battle with cancer. Best known to modern audiences for his hilarious roles on the sketch comedy series I Think You Should Leave, Biff also brought depth and warmth to a wide range of television and film appearances. Over a career spanning more than 40 years, Biff graced shows as varied as Roseanne, NCIS, The Mentalist, Desperate Housewives, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Silicon Valley, and Grace and Frankie. From crime dramas to teen comedies and heartfelt sitcoms, his versatility made him a familiar, comforting face in living rooms across America. But it was in I Think You Should Leave that Biff found a new wave of admiration. His roles in sketches like Shirt Brothers and Detective Crashmore quickly became fan favorites, showcasing his unique ability to balance absurdity with sincerity. Off-screen, he was described as kind-hearted, full of life, and always generous with his time. He also appeared in the 2023 Academy Award-winning film Everything Everywhere All at Once, a fitting nod to his enduring talent and relevance. Throughout his illness, Biff remained optimistic and engaged with his craft. According to his friends, he was preparing to return to set for the reboot of Night Court, a show he had once appeared in during its original run. His spirit, perseverance, and love for acting never waned. His management shared that Biff's energy could be felt by all who knew him, and tributes from co-stars and fans alike poured in, honoring not only his performances, but also his warmth and humanity. Biff Wiff leaves behind a legacy not just of laughter, but of resilience, kindness, and authenticity. His work will continue to bring smiles for years to come, a true gift from a remarkable man who made every scene brighter just by being in it. Joanne Gilbert, the radiant actress and singer who brought elegance and charm to mid-century film and nightclub stages, passed away on April 16, 2025, in Los Angeles. She was 92. Born in Chicago in 1932, Joanne was the daughter of lyricist Ray Gilbert, best known for penning Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah. Growing up in Hollywood from the age of 7, she was surrounded by the music and glamour of the entertainment world. With a natural flair for performance, she began her career as a fashion model in New York, before captivating audiences with her singing voice in famed nightclubs like the Mocambo and the Waldorf Astoria. Her big break came when Paramount signed her to a 7-year contract in 1952. Soon after, she made a memorable entrance in the 1954 musical Red Garters, alongside Rosemary Clooney. Her performance, paired with her vibrant presence, made her a standout, and she went on to appear in The Great Man, 1956, and The High Cost of Loving, 1958, both opposite Jose Ferrer. Throughout the 1950s and early 60s, Gilbert's talent took her to both the silver screen and television. She acted in Good Morning, Miss Dove, and Ride Out for Revenge, and guest starred in popular shows like Perry Mason, The Outer Limits, and Ben Casey. Her work was always infused with grace and professionalism, making her a beloved figure among her peers. Beyond acting, Joanne's nightclub performances remained a key part of her identity. With a velvety voice and magnetic stage presence, she continued to enchant audiences from Las Vegas to New York. Though she stepped back from the spotlight in later years, her contributions to mid-century entertainment endure. Joanne Gilbert's life was one of artistry, resilience, and quiet glamour. She leaves behind a legacy of music, film, and fond memories for those who remember the golden age of Hollywood. Philip Lowrie, beloved British actor best known as Coronation Street's original bad boy Dennis Tanner, passed away on April 25, 2025, at the age of 88. A central figure in the early years of the world's longest-running soap opera, Lowrie left a lasting mark on British television. Born in Ashton-under-Lyne, near Manchester, Lowrie studied acting at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, thanks to his mother's hard-earned savings. He made television history in 1960, appearing in the first episode of Coronation Street as Dennis Tanner, the rebellious son of Elsie Tanner. Dennis, recently released from prison, quickly became a fan favorite and national heartthrob. His on-screen chemistry with characters like Ken Barlow made him a staple of early storylines. Lowrie departed the show in 1968 after Dennis married Jenny Sutton and moved away. He then pursued other roles in television, theater, and radio, showcasing his versatility as a performer. Remarkably, Lowrie returned to Coronation Street in 2011, reuniting Dennis with his longtime love interest, Rita Sullivan. The revival of their relationship delighted longtime fans, and the pair eventually married. His return earned him a Guinness World Record for the longest gap between appearances as the same character in the same show, an extraordinary 43 years. Lowrie's final departure from Coronation Street came in 2014. Though Dennis was later written out and confirmed deceased off-screen, his legacy remained vital to the show's rich history. Beyond the screen, Lowrie was known for his gentle demeanor and professionalism. His death was announced by his publicist, Mario Renzullo, who called him a cornerstone of Coronation Street's storytelling. Fellow actors and fans alike have expressed deep sadness at his passing, remembering him as a charming, trailblazing figure of British drama. Philip Lowrie leaves behind a legacy not only of pioneering soap opera success, but of enduring affection from generations of viewers who grew up watching him. His memory will forever remain a part of British television heritage. Breaking news. Today we reflect on a woman whose voice, heart, and perseverance have left an unforgettable mark on generations. Marie Osmond is not just a name, she is a story of stardom, struggle, healing, and unwavering resilience. What fuels a life like hers? How does one survive the spotlight, the sorrow, and still choose joy? Stay with us as we explore the extraordinary health journey and career legacy of one of America's most beloved entertainers. Marie Osmond, born Olive. Marie Osmond, on October 13, 1959, was the only daughter in a family of 9 children. Raised in Utah, she came of age surrounded by music, with her brothers gaining fame as the Osmonds. But it did not take long for Marie to step into the spotlight herself. At just 13 years old, she released the song Paper Roses, which soared to #1 on the country charts. It was the beginning of a solo legacy that would distinguish her from even her famed siblings. In the 1970s, Marie joined her brother Donny Osmond to star in the popular variety show Donny and Marie. The duo charmed audiences across the country, showcasing wholesome family humor, upbeat musical performances, and undeniable sibling chemistry. But behind the glitz of sequins and prime-time applause, Marie's life would soon reveal itself as one marked by deeply personal challenges. Though she often smiled for the cameras, Marie was privately battling immense pressures. She has spoken with raw honesty about suffering from postpartum depression, an experience that shook her during one of the most vulnerable periods of her life. It was a health battle that she initially tried to hide, fearful of judgment. But her decision to speak out years later offered comfort to countless women facing similar pain. Beyond emotional struggles, Marie endured intense public scrutiny over her appearance. From her early teen years, she faced pressure to conform to narrow beauty standards. Weight fluctuations led to criticism from tabloids and industry insiders alike. But instead of breaking under the burden, Marie transformed her experience into advocacy. She became a prominent voice for body positivity and later partnered with wellness programs to share her story, not as a cautionary tale, but as a call for self-compassion. In 2010, Marie experienced an unimaginable family tragedy with the loss of her son, Michael. The grief from this event would forever change her. Taking time away from the public eye, she focused on healing. And when she returned, it was not with spectacle, but with grace. She began to speak more openly about mental health, the importance of emotional resilience, and the quiet power of simply continuing on. Her health journey faced another test in 2024, when she was hospitalized due to serious complications. Though she did not reveal the full extent of her condition, fans witnessed the strength of a woman who had endured much and still returned to say, "I am here." Marie used the moment to thank her supporters and share her gratitude for life, a theme that runs through much of her recent public appearances. Resilience is a constant in Marie's life. She navigated 2 divorces, and in a story as poetic as it is rare, remarried her first husband, Stephen Craig, after nearly 3 decades apart. She raised 8 children, balancing motherhood with an ever-evolving entertainment career. Through every twist in her personal life, her faith remained a guiding light. A devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Marie credits her beliefs with giving her the strength to rise after every fall. Professionally, she never stopped evolving. From country music to Broadway, from talk shows to best-selling books, Marie Osmond has refused to be boxed in. Her time on the CBS show The Talk brought her to a new generation of viewers, where her candor and warmth stood out in a fast-paced media landscape. She has also taken the stage in productions like The King and I, proving her versatility and range beyond television. In 2019, Marie and Donny concluded their record-breaking Las Vegas residency after 11 years. It was a fitting celebration of their legacy, years of harmonies, laughter, and heartfelt moments shared with audiences from around the world. Yet even as that curtain fell, Marie was already preparing for her next chapter. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of her career is the quiet work she does off-stage. In 1983, she co-founded Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, a nonprofit organization that has since raised billions for pediatric health care. For over 4 decades, she has championed the needs of vulnerable children, not just through charity galas, but through hands-on involvement. Her philanthropic work is not an extension of her celebrity. It is the core of her identity. In early 2025, she faced another emotional blow with the passing of her brother Wayne Osmond, following complications from a stroke. Her public tribute was a poignant reminder of how deeply family has shaped her life and career. Through her words, she honored not only Wayne's memory, but the bond that has defined the Osmond name for generations. And yet, through all of this, grief, illness, reinvention, Marie Osmond remains a radiant presence. She is more than a singer. She is more than a talk show host, an author, or a businesswoman. She is a symbol of courage, of how one can transform adversity into action and loss into legacy. Marie's story is far from over. She continues to perform, to write, and to share. Her social media platforms serve as spaces of positivity and connection. Her concerts remain celebrations of life, resilience, and song. And her message is clear. It is not about how many times life knocks you down. It is about how many times you choose to rise. If Marie Osmond's journey has touched your life, we invite you to share your memories in the comments below. Which of her songs or performances means the most to you? And if her strength has inspired you, please like and subscribe to our channel for more heartfelt tributes to Hollywood legends who continue to lead with grace. Thank you for joining us in honoring the life, the light, and the legacy of Marie Osmond.